Okay, over here to the right, we have the graph of this function. Here it's restricted to the closed interval from -7 to -3. That's the green portion. And we're supposed to find the absolute minimum and absolute maximum on that closed interval. And it looks like the absolute minimum is probably down in here somewhere. The absolute maximum is probably at this point where x equals -7. Now, if I actually graph the first derivative of this function, which is this purple graph right here, that equals 0 at about -5.282. We'll get an exact value for that in a second. But that is where this minimum value occurs. Or if it is a minimum on the closed interval, it's at the critical number where the first derivative equals 0. So the question is, how do we find the first derivative of that function? And by the way, here is f of -7. That's easy to evaluate because we get ln of 1 here, which is 0. E to the 0 produces 1. And so this term is 0. We get -5. F of -3, we don't have an exact value there yet, but we can do that. But anyway, we need to find the first derivative using the quotient rule on this first term. So we'll take the denominator times the derivative of the numerator. That's what this is right here. Minus the numerator times the derivative of the denominator, which is just 1, all over the denominator squared. And we can simplify that by canceling out the x plus 8. So we get -8 plus 8 times ln of x plus 8 over x plus 8, the quantity squared. Now, when does this equal 0? Find the critical numbers. That'll happen when the numerator equals 0. And when the numerator equals 0, we get this. Divide by 8. ln of x plus 8 equals 1. So x plus 8 equals e to the first power. So x equals e minus 8. That's the critical number. So those are the three values that we want to evaluate the original function for. F of -7 is -5. F of -3 is about -7.57. And f of e minus 8 is -7 point. So this is the absolute min here. And this is the absolute max occurring at -7. To summarize, this is the max. This is the min. And if you want an exact value for f of e minus 8, this is what you would do right here. Plug in e minus 8 for x. ln of e is 1, so we get -8 over e minus 5. You could get a common denominator and combine these two terms. But there is one exact answer, which is this f of e minus 8. Okay, there you go. Hope that helped. If you have any questions, post a comment.